there, this is Sara with Soft Flex Company. Today we are going to be talking about adding a charm to a bracelet. I made a very simple bracelet here using Soft Flex Beading Wire. I used the medium black in our .019 and it's a 2-strand bracelet, so I just attached to the clasp with 2 individual strands, crimped using a 2x2mm crimp tube and the magical crimpers. And then I strung 2 strands through, and I have a size 11 seed bead, a TierraCast spacer bead, another size 11 seed bead, and then I used a 2-hole bead to connect the 2 strands together. And it's the same pattern all the way down to the other end where it's crimped to the toggle bar. And this clasp is from TierraCast as well. And the seed beads I purchased from Fusion Beads. So if you want to add a charm to a bracelet like this, you can do it seasonally. Right now it's October, so everything is all about Halloween. I'm going to add this little skull charm to this design. But you could also do a leaf for Thanksgiving. You could do a Christmas tree for Christmas. You could do a heart for Valentine's Day or a clover for St. Patrick's Day. You could even change out your charm for every holiday and have it feel personalized as you go through the entire year. So I don't particularly like jump rings that are open-ended. They usually have a little slot that you can open up and slide things in, but I find that things slide out of them real easily. So I like to make jump rings using Soft Flex Beading Wire, and I wanted to show you how to do that today. So same diameter, I'm using the medium Soft Flex in the black. I'm going to string my crimp tube. I'm going to string through my clasp. And then I'm going to string my charm and go back into the crimp tube. You'll see I often do things right on the spool of wire. That will save you a lot of wire if you're not cutting excess. You can actually do a lot of things right on here. So I'm going to cinch that down as far as I want. The nice thing also about doing your own jump ring is you can choose the size. Do big or small. It's really up to you. Now I passed that wire through the crimp tube once. I made a full circle and went into the crimp tube again. So you can see there's kind of 2 tails here. I can go ahead and, well, we'll cut it off at the end here actually. Okay, so I've got my magical crimpers. These have 2 little notches on the inside of the crimping plier head. And they match perfectly, creating sort of a dome when I close the pliers down. And inside that dome you can fit this crimp tube just perfectly. And I'm going to compress. The first time I compress, what it does is it sort of creates a square shape that looks a little bit like a ravioli with 4 little pinched corners. Then I'm going to turn it on its side and I'm going to pinch again. And I like to go around it a few times, just tightening it down, making sure it's all nice and cinched down. So what you're doing is taking that crimp tube, which is, a tube, and you're pinching down the edges of the tube till it looks like a bead, but those edges are actually cinching into the nylon coating of the wire, and that's what's making it hold so nicely. You can see even when I pull on it, it should have a nice strong connection. Okay, so at this point I can go ahead and snip my wire. You see this is the only bit of wire that I'll end up not using, is this little tiny bit here. So, and then you've got your fun charm added to your bracelet, and like I said, you can personalize it to whatever holiday you happen to be celebrating. I am going to snip it off, and I'm going to show you one other way that you can attach a charm. This is using what I call a connector. It's kind of a similar idea. I'm going to string my crimp tube, go through the clasp, and grab the charm. Oh wait, no, sorry. Go back into the crimp tube. I was still stuck on doing jump rings. I'm going to go back into the crimp tube and kind of cinch that down. This time I am going to cut my wire off. And now I'm going to add my charm. And then I'm going to go back into the crimp tube a third pass. So the crimp tube is actually on either side of 2 rings, which is going to connect this. Let me use the pliers, which is going to connect this charm to my bracelet. The nice thing about this is I can tighten this down as much as I want. I'm using black Soft Flex. Soft Flex comes in a ton of different colors, so you could always choose other colors too, not just black. You know, there are pinks and blues and reds. Just adds like a little bit of zest to the end of your design. I'm going to go ahead and crimp it again using the magical crimpers. And this is going to dangle a little bit more off of the bracelet, but it is another option. And once I feel like that's pretty secure, I'll use the flush side of my cutter to snip this extra wire off of here. With a good pair of cutters, you can really get in there close. And then that gives you just one other option for how you can connect a charm to a bracelet. So I hope that you found this helpful. The nice thing about using a Soft Flex jump ring or connector is that it is going to stay on there forever. You're not going to have to worry about it coming undone like a jump ring or sliding out. It's effectively a closed jump ring or a closed connector. So that is really, really handy. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to learn more about the products that I used, please do go to our website, softflexcompany.com. I did use some pieces from TierraCast and then also some seed beads from Fusion Beads. I believe Fusion does carry TierraCast clasps and findings and things, so you can go to fusionbeads.com as well. And if you liked this video, please do click to subscribe either on our YouTube page or click to like our Facebook page. We post a new video just about every single week. So hopefully you will get a chance to check out some more of our videos too.